U-N-I-T-Y, that's a unity. U-N-I-T-Y. Oh, boy. Finished the newest video filming yesterday. And now it's gonna be a week and a half before Charles actually puts this shit together. But once he does, we'll see how it works. Plagued by the pace when I yearn to go past my glasses laugh. In a minute, and it's I heard. Yeah, baby. You want 10% of God's help, do you? You want 100%, right? Man. Yeah, pass the C. Go ahead and pass that plate around. I wonder how old those buildings are. Like it's getting to the point where you're starting to see like the attitude I have, the way I see things is really starting to take off. It's really starting to be a lot more popular. And people are really just starting to say, like, just point out the utter ridiculous of it all. You know, the idea that the Donkey Inc. people built the world we live in. It's just fucking silly. And it's falling apart. You know, because people are just smart enough to, like, see it. They're finally starting to actually see, like, how the fuck did ancient world people build that? Where? Why? How? Look at that fucking beginning structure. This building is from 1919. It's not been redone. There's no repairs needed. It just stays. The only thing that's ever had to happen is cleaning and painting. But people are really starting to see. I mean, and that's just some random building in the middle of some random area. This isn't like you know. I mean, just look at Washington, D.C. What was it? The school in El Paso. I forget what the name was. What the fuck? What school was it? There was a school in El Paso, or there is a school in El Paso that is. It just doesn't fit. It's the something high school in El Paso, and to think like that it's just there. It just exists. It's just. You know, it was built by us, and it's just not true. It's just not true. Go look at Washington, D.C. Go look at the palace after palace after palace. You've always had that thought process in your head. You've always looked at old churches and things and thought, like, man, that's weird. How did they build that? Where did they get the tech to build that? And then you look into it and you find out that it's from 18 something, right? And you just, it's not even feasible. Or the underground cities and shit like that are found all over the world. Like, there's just, whether it's the sewer lines, subway lines, you know, I remember one time, I was thinking about this the other day, actually. So at some point in my life, I worked for a concrete company, and this was a company that specialized in retaining walls, and you know, like if you gotta love when that happens. There was one point where, you know, and all I did was, I was the delivery yard guy. I was the yard bitch. I wasn't even head yard bitch. I was just the yard bitch's bitch. And I remember there was this one job that they had where they were at 7 Mile and in between Lasser and Telegraph. And like this was in the hood, in like the hood of all hoods, like just a really bad area. If you looked it up, I guarantee none of them safe in that area. But the work was being done at an intersection. They were redoing like the piping and shit, whatever it was, in the intersection. And so it was this huge fucking hole, you know, that took up the whole intersection. And when you looked out, like the hole was like 100-something feet down. It was so much further than you would imagine it to be. And there were multiple, you know, different pipes and shit that you could see down in the hole. And I never give it that much thought until very recently when I was remembering that specific job and thinking, like, I remember being overwhelmed by what was shown and thinking, how the fuck, like, this is huge. I had no idea it was this deep. I had no idea it was I mean, it's just the thought of, and if you realize, like, that's everywhere. This pipe was, you know, these pipes were 100 feet down, but, you know, I just saw a little chunk pulled out. That shit has to go everywhere. And that means underneath all of our cities, underneath all of our everything, there are all these, like, we don't even think about the sewer pipes and shit. We don't think about that system that exists. We just take it for granted and think, oh yes, you know, there's sewer system, there's sewer pipes, there's whatever. But you've never bothered to give any thought into how the shit was built. How were they building these? Are they really? They were just pickaxes and shovels, just knocking it out, foot by foot, do. Do you believe that? You know, I'm thinking about it as I'm driving here, and I'm driving through just a random area. But there's houses everywhere. The sewer lines are everywhere, and they have to be meticulous, and they have to, you know, connect into this system that goes to the main system, and blah blah. Like, that's just not. That's a scenario I'd love to know how was built.
There's a song about you. Hooray! But you're still a clown shoe. Yay! There's a song about you. Hooray! But you're still a clown shoe. Yay! There's a song about you. Hooray! But you're still a clown shoe. Yay! Now there's a song about you. Hooray! Too bad you're still a clown shoe.
I'm sorry, that's just one of my favorite little TPG bits. You know, Heinz Drive. Heinz Drive is this park, this large section of Michigan that is considered a national park, I guess. Like, it's all protected land, and it goes for such a long, long way. And you just think, like even here, who built this bridge? How did they do this back when they did this? Like, we can do it now, yeah, sure. But how did they do that back in the day? The materials being brought in, the shipping companies, all that shit. We just don't, you know, it's like we live in this reality, but it's such a, you know, protected and false reality. And if you look, the narrative you're given about just about everything should destroy the way you think about just about everything. You assume that the history over the thing is reasonable, is accurate, is whatever, but you never know because you haven't looked. But as soon as you look into literally anything, it just doesn't stand up. It doesn't stand up to scrutiny. It doesn't make sense what you're being shown, and you just have to have faith that it is true. I mean, the Jewish thing is such a fucking weird example. Like, I'm watching Ian Carroll this morning, and Ian Carroll does great videos, but I really just can't help but think, and he is, you know, he's a very carefully crafted, controlled opposition. Like, he talks about Jews a lot, but he's really big on being like, but it's not all Jews. It's not all Jews. And it's weird how even the truthers protect the illusion. Like, it's not pedophilia. And even, it doesn't matter. She's the old lady, and she has cookies for me every time I see her. So the fuck what? So? You don't know who that bitch was in her youth? I had some jackasses here yesterday talking about, I'm a Jew and I'm opposed to Matitza B'Peh. And I asked him, so what do you do about it? And he has nothing. It's like, how do I talk to the people? Don't want to hear that. How do I? You don't do shit, then, is what you're saying. Oh, that's so crazy. Just went into a different direction mentally. I was thinking about this broad that I knew and how difficult that whole situation was. Because I saw some chick walking and that reminded me of her. I just think it's strange. Like, if I'm wrong, how come the only thing is that I'm wrong and I shouldn't say it? How come it's not like, you're wrong, here, let me explain to you how you're wrong? Or, you're wrong, let me explain how I'm right. Nothing like that ever takes place. It's weird, man. It's weird. You out sucking ducks for weeds. Yes, I'm out sucking dicks for weed. Says again, this, like, when I say, so how come there's no, like, proper opposition? This is what, like, they're like, here, let's provide an example of what he's talking about. Let's show how stupid we are. I mean, anybody who at this point is defending Judaism, it's because you're a fucking moron. You just don't know any better. That or you're a Jew. I don't know any difference. I don't really know. It's strange. Again, it's such a strange thing because there is no real defense of any of it. Nobody ever even attempts to say, anything even reasonably intelligent or and it's strange. It's such a strange argument to be in, to have, when there is no arguing. It's just all complacency and stupidity. It's such a weird thing. Like, I can't imagine being like that. You know, I would be embarrassed if I was one of these fucking morons. I mean, look at the childish bullshit that comes through here. Gaza kids shouldn't be terrorists. Only some dumb piece of shit Jew is going to say that. Literally. Who else is going to say something like that? Like, I can literally, there are plenty of videos showing Israeli children acting as terrorists. The idea that the children in Gaza are terrorists, there's no proof of that. It's just a statement that dumb Jews make. Of course this guy is. Right? Oh, we've got another person who's too much of a coward to actually say nigger, so they're typing it out like in multiple things. Because again, ow! For no reason whatsoever, because I'm wrong about everything I'm saying, random people are just coming in here to drop N-bombs. Like, that's how fucking stupid they are. Only Jews would be that way. They're the only ones that cowardly that's basically all they can do. Oh yeah, I'm Irish. I believe you. Because Ireland isn't like staunchly pro-Palestinian. You're not seeing the Irish everywhere having protests, you know. Speaking out, that's not what the Irish are doing. The Irish are going to come in here and no proof. Yep. I have no proof for what I'm saying. I don't constantly provide you guys receipts. There aren't receipts in the description of this thing. OG is a bot. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. These are it's either bots or it's act.il Jews. Either way you slice it, it's Jewish Israeli controlled. And the you know, it's just strange. Like, people act like that's the only viable answer. I don't believe that there are human beings outside of the Jewish cult that are this fucking disgusting and this stupid. Like, it's a combination of the inbred stupidity and the you know, absolute monsters that you guys are. You know, weak, cowardly, you know, insignificant, inferior monsters. It's the only way it makes sense. It's the only way it works. You have to be the worst of the worst. And you do nothing but prove it. Yeah, well, it's not even defending Israel, because Israel is a construct. Israel isn't a thing. Israel doesn't think. Israel doesn't, you know, it doesn't actually exist. It exists because they tell us it does. They laid out some invisible lines on the ground and they say, well, this is Israel. Israel isn't a thing. Just like your stupid ass Jesus. You're, Y-O-U-R, way more gay. Like that, seriously. That's what you come back with? How dumbass do you have to be that you can't even spell the right, you can't even use the right your. See, this is sort of a window into it. When English isn't your first language, you have a hard time with the yours and the theirs and shit like that. So you see it in here. You see how they, this is the best that they can come up with. I mean, the idea of, the weird thing that's been happening, that somehow gay, trans, all that stuff is a product of Judaism, is just insane. It's just fucking crazy. And it's weird how the narrative is so hijacked that it makes you into an asshole no matter what side you're on, right? Let's see. I teach grandma. English speakers mess up way more than I care to admit. Yeah, but not here. You have to combine all of the pieces. Not only are they really bad at English, they support Israel. Who the fuck, how many people do you know in your real life that support Israel? I literally can't say I know anybody. I don't know anybody. I know that there are like piece of shit Jews out there that, you could come in contact with, but nobody I actually know